guys, and welcome back. As you know, the Christmas season is approaching, and I'm sure at least one of you guys has gotten a wish list for one of these. A drone. Whether it's one of your grandkids, your kids, or another family member, drones are very popular these days, and they have a variety of purposes that people love to use them for. As you know, we use a drone in our footage from time to time out here on the farm, and we've put it to use with other aspects as well. So I was in the market for a second backup drone, so I decided to take a look at the Ruko F11GIM2. Oftentimes when someone's in the market for a drone, they have very little experience flying a drone, and drones can be ridiculously expensive, so you don't want to crash them. But there are so many introductory, low-cost drones on the market. How do you know which is going to stack up against the others? Well, lucky for you, this one is on sale for 35% off if you check out the discount code down below in the video description. So you guys can definitely save yourself some cash by looking into this low-cost drone. Now, this one is an introductory drone. It is not going to be comparable to the DJI upper-class models. However, price for price, this one is going to beat out a lot of the other lower cost drones, including having additional features such as follow me functions, hand gesture functions, and plotting out travel paths. And one of the other nice features about this particular drone over other drones in the same cost bracket is that this drone offers 4K video, which is amazing. And it takes some really good quality video when you've got a good amount of light. Let's go take a look at it.
Drones are everywhere, and it's easy to wonder what on earth you might use a drone for. The obvious reason for us is we use it to monitor our fields and we use it to shoot YouTube videos. But I don't know if you remember back in the day when people used to fly in helicopters or airplanes with big cameras taking pictures of people's properties, farms, and houses. And then later they would knock on their door and offer to sell it to them. If you know anyone who has a farm back in the 1970s, chances are pretty good they have at least one aerial photo of their property. That is one very easy use for a drone. However, keep in mind that if you're going to be using the drone for any type of non-hobby use, such as flying it to take pictures for other people, you're going to need to be FAA certified as a pilot yourself. The certification is a little bit difficult, but once you have it, you are pretty much free to do whatever you want with your drone that's within legal reasons. However, most people just use drones for their own entertainment, such as checking on their property. If you have a lost child out in the woods, you know how scary it can be. You might not have cell service. Having a drone on hand makes searching for a lost child or a pet or looking for intruders quite easy. With the use of the 4K footage on the Ruko drone, it makes it even more clear where the person is. The drone is able to see very clearly through these woods. Obviously, if you're looking in the middle of summertime, you're going to have a lot of tree canopy. But in the wintertime, it definitely makes scoping out the ground a lot easier. Or if you need to look for a lost cow, sheep, or horse, you're able to track them with the drone in real time and can alert people on the ground to where they might be located. Some states even allow you to use a drone to track a fallen deer. Please be sure to check with your state regulations and guidelines to make sure that you are legal to do this, as some states do not allow it. Drones can be great to take aerial pictures of parties or events. Or if you want to do a group photo and set the drone up to be able to capture everybody without having to set up a tripod and a camera, a drone can make that super easy. Graduation events, sporting events, the video allows you to record real time what your child is doing on the sports field. Whether they're running track, running cross country, or playing football, you can launch the drone up and get those awesome and amazing shots of your kid to showcase later. Ruko drone is a nice introductory drone if you're not looking to drop a lot of money and you're worried about crashing a drone in the early stages. The most difficult feature of this drone seemed to be the return to home commands. Using the return to home command, the drone would return home, but seemed to struggle on the landing part. I would recommend, instead of using that function, that you manually use the cameras on the drone to land it. So you fly it back in and then you lower it all the way down to the ground until the motors turn off. Then you won't have any confusion with trying to locate its home position, and you should be able to land it very safely. But overall, it seems to have a lot of additional features that other introductory level drones don't have, and it's a nice step in the drone department. You can click on any of the links in the video description to be taken to the drone page and check it out for yourself.
The Ruko F11GIM2 drone has a 4K camera with a 2-axis gimbal and EIS recording. This drone offers 2 batteries, each has just under a 30-minute flight time, for a combined total of 56 minutes of flight time in calm conditions. This drone has a level 6 wind resistance, and it is able to go up to almost 2 miles away and transmit visual back to you.
The Ruko F11GIM2 drone has obtained FAA certification, making it compliant, and it also has built-in RID modules. This drone does need to be calibrated before takeoff, so keep that in mind. You're going to want to do it about 3 feet off the ground. You simply spin the drone horizontally 2 to 3 times until the controller beeps, and then you turn the drone so that the camera is facing up to the sky, and you spin it vertically about 2 to 3 times as well. The camera will beep when it's done. At that point, you can set it down on a flat surface free of clutter and then begin to launch it. To launch the drone, you can either push the launch button or you can prep it by turning the controller buttons to the 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock position and then clicking the launch. The launch is pretty straightforward. It'll go straight up into the air. Keep in mind that this drone does have child safety parameters in place when it comes to your house, so it will limit how far up it can drive and how far out it can fly. If you want to be able to fly further and higher, you'll have to turn these controls off. However, if this is going to be a gift for a child or any of your kids plan to fly it, it's probably a safe idea to keep those on.
Significant to fly a drone in. However, we're also at the tallest point here in Kent County in Michigan, so it's going to be pretty gusty out here. But I really wanted to see what the camera on the F11GIM2 can do. Because you have a really good chance of losing it. But she held her own pretty good, and even though we weren't able to get the views that I wanted due to the wind speed, at least we had a pretty good idea of how she can handle the heavy winds. off. She maintained her position and she did land, even if she was a little hesitant to do it. So she definitely passed the wind test. Oh. All right, so we're going to push and hold this to turn it off. There we go. Now we're going to turn off our remote. Same way. Push once, push and hold, and turn it off. Once we unlock professional mode, then we can do this other stuff over here just a little bit more. So we've got pitch fine tuning, roll fine tuning, PTZ. So this looks like stuff that we have to calibrate with the drone on. So we can calibrate the roll, we can calibrate the pitch, and I think that will give you a little bit better adjustments. So right here underneath parameter, we can turn beginner mode off. So that lets you go a lot further and a lot higher. If you're gonna have your kids flying this, definitely keep beginner mode on because you don't want them just to take off down to the next city. But if you're using this yourself, you certainly can. So over here we have our different options. We can have it follow the GPS, which would be my phone. You can program a person in there to follow. You can do gesture, so you can have it running. Like let's say you want to go horseback riding and you want a video, have the drone follow you. So you can have it follow you and then you can give a hand signal when you want it to turn on to start videoing. So there's gesture photo, gesture record. Route rules is pretty cool. So you can actually open up a map on this program and you can set different waypoints that you want the drone to travel to. And then there's points of interest where you can click that option and it'll connect to a map and look for interesting things in your area to video. Obviously virtual reality uses a headset, so that's interesting that it gives you that option. There's zoom, lens angle. Let's click lens angle, see what that does for us. So it looks like we can slide it in and out. So if you want wide or more zoomed in. And then over here is home point, where you can set your home point. We need to figure out how to change the picture settings. And actually, maybe it's honestly on, maybe it's on this. I didn't even think about that. Let's turn this on really quick. Okay. So we have this on, and we do have certain controls on here. We have speed. It's gonna try to connect even though, okay, so changing this, we've got sport mode, camera mode, and then normal mode. So once we get a new battery, we'll test those things. If we click record, video starts. I guess we'll just have to keep looking for that. All right, we're gonna turn this off. All right, so I have another battery charging. It did mention in the directions that you have to completely charge and discharge the batteries at least 3 times. Now, normally I would find that really strange, but I just bought new GoPro batteries and they literally said the same thing, except I have to do it 5 times. So if you see a lot of GoPro footage missing, that's probably why, because they're just not quite working. So the battery's not going to be at maximum efficiency until that happens. So you can do anything from just leaving your drone on and letting the battery run out naturally that way, or actually just flying it and then go back and recharging it. It seems strange, but I think that's kind of the way these lithium-ion batteries are moving. Shopping for a drone can be a big endeavor, but it doesn't have to be. And especially if you're shopping for somebody that's new to drones, hopefully you'll take a look at the Ruko drone and see if it fits what you're looking for. Stay tuned as we take a look at a couple more presents that you may just be interested in for either yourself or somebody else this Christmas season. I wish you guys a happy Christmas season and I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Love you. Bye.